In the vast expanse of the cosmos, where stars twinkled like scattered jewels upon an endless canvas of night, the realm of the gods thrummed with the energy of creation and destruction. Olympus, the majestic abode of the deities, stood as a testament to their power, adorned with gleaming marble and draped in clouds of ethereal light. At the pinnacle of this divine hierarchy was Zeus, the supreme god, ruler of the skies, and wielder of thunder. To mortals, he was an embodiment of justice and order, but beneath the veneer of his omnipotence lay a heart fraught with ambition and vulnerability. Zeus had long been revered and feared, his thunderbolts serving as both punishment and protection. Yet within the depths of his divine essence, a secret crime brewed, one that would unravel the intricate tapestry of relationships among the gods. It began with a longing, a desire for something more than the mere oversight of mortal affairs and the constant struggles of maintaining divine order. Zeus yearned for a legacy, a mark upon the world that would endure beyond the fleeting moments of time. In his insatiable pursuit of greatness, Zeus devised a plan that would alter the course of both divine and mortal realms. He sought to create a new race of beings, one that would surpass mortals in intellect and strength, a race that could rival even the gods themselves. This ambition, however, was a double-edged sword. The creation of such beings could lead to chaos, a challenge to the very authority of the gods. Yet, the allure of innovation and the potential for greatness clouded Zeus's judgment. The secretive nature of his endeavor necessitated a veil of deception. Zeus enlisted the help of Prometheus, the Titan known for his cunning and foresight. Together, they toiled in the shadows, crafting a new race from the elements of earth and fire. Prometheus, ever the rebel, was intrigued by the prospect of creating beings capable of thought and creativity. He envisioned a world where mortals could aspire to greatness, free from the constraints imposed by the gods. But as the clay figures took shape, Zeus's heart was torn between pride and fear. The day of reckoning arrived when Zeus unveiled his creation to the pantheon of gods. The moment was fraught with tension, as the other deities gathered in the grand hall of Olympus, their expressions a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. Hera, Zeus's wife and queen, stood at his side, her brow furrowed with concern. She sensed the turbulence within her husband, the storm brewing behind his regal facade. The other gods, too, were on edge, their whispers echoing through the marble columns. As Zeus animated the first of his creations, a surge of energy coursed through the hall. The figure, a radiant being of light and form, blinked into existence, its eyes reflecting the wisdom of the cosmos. The gods watched in awe, but as the initial wonder faded, a wave of unease washed over them. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, stepped forward, her voice steady yet laced with trepidation. She questioned Zeus's intentions, probing the implications of creating beings that could rival the divine. Zeus brushed off her concerns, his pride swelling with each passing moment. He spoke of a new era, one where mortals could ascend to greatness, where the line between divine and human blurred. But the other gods were not swayed. They exchanged glances, their expressions darkening as they contemplated the potential repercussions of Zeus's actions. Poseidon, god of the sea, voiced his dissent, warning of the chaos that could ensue should these beings rise to power. The atmosphere crackled with tension, the air thick with unspoken fears. As the debate raged on, Zeus's resolve deepened. He had crossed a threshold, and there was no turning back. The creation of this new race was not just an act of hubris. It was his declaration of independence from the constraints of divine tradition. In his mind, he envisioned a world where mortals could challenge the gods, where the divine order could be redefined. Yet in his pursuit of greatness, he had underestimated the bonds that held the pantheon together. The other gods, united in their apprehension, decided to confront Zeus. They gathered in a council, their voices rising in a chorus of indignation and fear. Hera, torn between loyalty to her husband and the need to protect the sanctity of the divine order, stood at the forefront of the debate. She implored Zeus to reconsider, to see the potential for disaster looming on the horizon. But Zeus, blinded by ambition, dismissed their warnings as mere envy of his brilliance. As days turned into weeks, the tension among the gods escalated. Zeus, determined to prove his vision right, continued to nurture his creations, teaching them wisdom and skills that surpassed mortal comprehension. The beings flourished, their potential unfolding like petals of a flower, but with each step they took toward greatness, the gods felt their authority wane. The divine hierarchy, once unassailable, began to tremble under the weight of Zeus's ambition. The turning point came when one of Zeus's creations, a being named Daedalus, demonstrated an extraordinary intellect that rivaled even Athena's. Daedalus crafted inventions that astounded the gods, blurring the lines between divine inspiration and mortal ingenuity. The other gods watched in horror as this new race began to shape their own destinies, their creations echoing through the realms, challenging the very essence of what it meant to be divine. In the shadows of Olympus, the whispers of rebellion grew louder. The gods convened once more, their faces etched with concern and anger. They understood that Zeus's actions had not only threatened their authority, but had sown seeds of discord among them. The delicate balance of power that had existed for eons was now on the brink of collapse. It was in this moment of desperation that Hera, usually the voice of reason, found herself consumed by a sense of betrayal. She confronted Zeus, her voice trembling with emotion as she implored him to see the folly of his actions. "You have created a monster, Zeus," she cried, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "These beings do not know their place. They do not understand the consequences of their power. You have unleashed chaos upon the world, and it will consume us all." Zeus, taken aback by her fervor, felt a flicker of doubt for the first time. He had believed that his creations would elevate humanity, but now he saw the fire of ambition igniting in their hearts. The gods, once united under his reign, were fracturing, and he could feel the weight of their disappointment bearing down on him. Yet, pride and stubbornness held him captive, and he could not bring himself to admit his miscalculation. As tensions reached a breaking point, the gods devised a plan to confront the threat posed by Zeus's creations. They would not allow the balance of power to tip in favor of mortals. In a clandestine meeting, they crafted a strategy to undermine Zeus's influence, to remind him of the consequences of his hubris. They would send forth trials and tribulations to test the resolve of the new race, to show them that the path to greatness was fraught with peril. The first trial came in the form of a great flood, a deluge unleashed upon the earth, designed to challenge the creations of Zeus. As the waters rose, panic spread among the mortals, and the new beings found themselves grappling with the reality of their existence. Daedalus, driven by a sense of responsibility, sought to rally his fellow creations, urging them to use their intellect and skills to survive the onslaught. The floodwaters tested their ingenuity, forcing them to confront the limitations of their power. Meanwhile, in Olympus, the gods watched with bated breath. They had hoped that the trials would humble Zeus and his creations, but as the waters receded, they witnessed something unexpected. The new beings banded together, using their combined knowledge to devise ingenious solutions to the challenges they faced. They constructed boats, devised methods to divert the water, and even found ways to harness the elements to create shelter. The flood, instead of breaking their spirits, ignited a fire within them, a determination to rise above adversity. As the trials continued, the gods found themselves in a precarious position. Their attempts to undermine Zeus's creations only fueled their resolve. The mortals began to worship their new beings, seeing them as symbols of hope and resilience. The divine order, once unchallenged, was now being questioned, and the gods could feel the ground beneath them shifting. In a desperate bid to regain control, Zeus summoned the other deities to Olympus, his voice booming with authority. He demanded their loyalty, urging them to recognize the greatness of his creations. But the gods, emboldened by their shared conviction, stood united against him. They confronted Zeus, their voices rising in a chorus of defiance. "You have gone too far, Zeus," Athena declared, her eyes blazing with determination.
Your ambition has blinded you to the consequences of your actions. You must choose. Will you continue down this path of destruction, or will you acknowledge the chaos you have sown?
For the first time, Zeus felt the weight of their words. The realization that his desire for greatness had led to division among the gods struck him like a thunderbolt. The complexity of divine relationships, once taken for granted, now loomed large in his mind. He had sought to elevate mortals, but in doing so, he had jeopardized the very fabric of their existence. In that moment of clarity, Zeus understood that true greatness lay not in domination, but in collaboration. He turned to his fellow gods, his voice softer yet resolute. I have been blinded by my ambition, but I see now the folly of my ways. I did not intend to create discord among us. I sought to inspire, not to challenge our authority.
The gods, taken aback by his vulnerability, exchanged glances filled with uncertainty. Hera stepped forward, her voice steady but compassionate. We must find a way to restore balance, Zeus. We must work together to ensure that your creations understand their place in the order of things.
With the weight of their shared history pressing upon them, the gods engaged in a dialogue that transcended their differences. They discussed the potential of Zeus's creations, envisioning a world where mortals could aspire to greatness without threatening the divine hierarchy. It was a delicate balance, one that required compromise and understanding. As the gods deliberated, Zeus proposed a radical idea: to share knowledge with his creations, to guide them toward a path of enlightenment rather than dominance. The other gods, initially hesitant, began to see the wisdom in his proposal. They recognized the potential for collaboration, for a new era where mortals could coexist with the divine. The decision was made. Zeus descended from Olympus, his heart filled with a renewed sense of purpose. He approached his creations, who had been watching the unfolding drama with a mixture of awe and apprehension. With humility, he revealed his intentions, expressing a desire to guide them rather than control them.
Together, he proclaimed, we can forge a new destiny. You are not merely my creations. You are a part of this cosmos, deserving of knowledge and understanding. Let us work hand in hand to shape a world where mortals and gods coexist in harmony.
The beings, initially wary, began to embrace the possibility of collaboration. Daedalus, inspired by Zeus's words, stepped forward to lead the charge. He proposed a council, a gathering of both gods and mortals, where ideas could be exchanged freely. The vision of a united future ignited a spark of hope among them, and soon the council was formed. As the days turned into weeks, the council flourished. Mortals and gods engaged in discussions that bridged the gap between their realms. They shared knowledge, explored creativity, and celebrated the beauty of collaboration. The new beings, once seen as a threat, became ambassadors of understanding, fostering a sense of unity that transcended the boundaries of divine and mortal. In the heart of Olympus, the gods watched as their relationships transformed. The atmosphere, once charged with tension, now resonated with a sense of purpose. Zeus, humbled by the experience, recognized the importance of listening, of valuing the perspectives of others. The complexity of divine relationships was no longer a source of discord. It became a tapestry woven with threads of collaboration and understanding. As time passed, the legacy of Zeus's creations evolved. They became revered not only for their intellect, but for their empathy and creativity. The gods, too, learned from their mortal counterparts, recognizing that greatness was not solely defined by power, but by the ability to inspire and uplift. In the annals of divine history, the tale of Zeus's secret crime became a lesson etched in the hearts of both gods and mortals. It served as a reminder that ambition, when unchecked, could lead to chaos, but when tempered with humility and collaboration, it could birth a new era of understanding. As the stars continued to twinkle in the night sky, the realms of gods and mortals thrived in harmony, each recognizing the beauty of their interconnectedness. Zeus, once a figure of dominance, emerged as a leader who understood the complexities of relationships, forging a legacy that would endure for eternity. The divine and mortal realms, once separated by fear and ambition, now danced together in a cosmic symphony. a testament to the power of unity and understanding.